revenue, any changes in revenue. And then we show any changes in expenses right after that.
So we're spending 752,000.
Well, that's revenue. That's what we've actually brought in for the mental health for the first 3 months of the year. Because that was the tax that we sunset. So we wanted to true up the revenues to equal what we've actually brought in.
It's just that maybe that's just out of place as a revenue. 'Cause everything else on that page are expenditures. Mileage, overtime,
Yeah.
labor.
Well, we tried it on the different funds where there's, like, for example, you go to page 5, road funds, the first one. So we try to show the revenue first, if there's any changes, and then the changes in expenses. And so we do that for, if there are changes in revenues, and then there's changes in expenses.
Thank you.
So they're really, and then page, we're
Just
also,
another question of ignorance. There are entries that by title are duplicated. What's the significance there? Like tuition and registration, advertising, photocopies, page 6.
page 6, what happens is if there's a different bars for it will show up as 2 different lines.
I thought I checked that, but I missed it. There's a 6 and there's an 8. Okay, I got it.
Mhm. A lot of numbers on this.
Yeah. If they're in the middle, they're harder to spot.
Yeah, so. And then,
This is, the VARS code is a good example of where the government, we're here to help you. And it's
We're here to
totally,
help you.
again, unintelligible. Well, she's memorizing the code. You've got most of the numbers down now, but
I've learned,
yeah, it's.
I know which one is law enforcement too, which is one of our larger ones.
Well,
And-
as soon as you get it down, would you let us know so we can tell them it's okay to change them now?
Oh, they'll probably change them. Most of the health and human services, you'll see there's an actual extra document for you. It's towards the back, and that explains all of their changes. They did a very good job and very thorough of explaining where and why they're making most of these changes. And so that they've explained all of those. And they're by far, they're like, start on page 6 and they continue through page 9. And so they've explained all of their changes. And then,
You see the $440,000 income for the opioid cases, the lawsuits.
yeah, the opioid funds, they're truing up what we've actually received so far this year. And then they placed the rest of it in, they adjusted the expenditure budget to increase ending fund balance. And I think that was on page,
So
that was on page 11. Mhm.
on the low-income housing and O&M, there's a $4.6 million expenditure I'm assuming those are the contract awards to Housing Authority to CAP and Campus Towers. And the one that is adjusted out is probably the Kelso building that hasn't started yet.
I need to find that
That's over on page 9, sorry.
page 9.
About 1/3 up from the bottom.
Well, mine is a little, my page numbers may be off now that I look at this. Because,
Page 9 out of 15. That helps.
yeah, so that is, you're looking at the line that's for low income, where they've changed professional services and contracts
Correct.
and decrease of a total of $1 million. And that they've explained that they said they're decreasing professional services because of project not yet billed. And they're also decreasing professional services for the Department of Commerce not yet spent. And they believe those will be spent in 2025. I don't think there's any other ones that are significant. Expo Center and the Conference Center, they went through their expenditures and made some adjustments. But in total, they're not very significant. They also increased on the Silver Lake Gift Shop, they increased their revenues.
You're on
Page 12.
thank you.
They've increased their revenues, but they've also increased some of their expenditures and their ending fund to account for an ending fund balance increase of $60,000. So. And then I'll jump to page 13 for another pretty significant change. And this has to do with, we made a change to information technology. When we were doing the cost allocations, I thoroughly analyzed their fund balance and discovered that their fund balance had been understated for their operating account to the tune of about $1.5 million. And then we're now turning around and we're going to transfer that excess fund balance over to the reserve account because we want to maintain a small fund balance in the operating account, but make sure that the reserve account has the vast majority of the fund balance. So it's available for capital replacement, renewals, and things like that. And so their fund balance will go up from a little over $3 million to almost $5 million when it's fully adjusted. And then we also have the transfer in that I'm reporting for risk management of $570,000 so that they have the budget capacity to pay the insurance premiums assessments that are coming due this month in October. And so we're utilizing both the fund balance and that transfer in to increase the line for insurance premiums by $1 million to cover the billing. And then another item on page 15 to bring to your attention is the PFD, because they're part of our budget. They're accounted for as part of Callowitz. They had a item for their theater that they needed to pay, a repair, was a construction-related invoice, about a little over 200,000. And so they're utilizing part of their fund balances to transfer and make sure that they have enough budget capacity to cover that invoice. And that's what the last page is. And that's all my budget amendments. There's a lot of them.
Next one in late January? Or for February, I guess it's usually in February.
Yeah,
After the January bills get paid. for the
typically we
previous
have
year.
something in
You plan on being
February.
around, right?
Not me.
Not I.
We, and then again, sometimes we have one in December, if there's things that we find, but I'm hoping this will be the last budget amendment for 2024.
Yeah. Thank you, Kathy. And thank
appreciate
the
the background.
departments. Yeah. HHS did a good job of
Yeah, they
explaining
did.
all their changes. So
Yeah,
that was
they had-
good to see.
They had a lot of changes, so they put together a nice little info packet on it.
Yeah.
So it was very helpful. Any other questions for me?
I think so. There might be some tomorrow during public hearings. So.
Yeah.
Not necessarily from us, but from the audience.
Yeah, we'll be ready.
Okay. Okay. We can, I see Jessica in here. Do you gentlemen have anything miscellaneous, or we move into human resources? Okay. Jessica, why don't we just do that?
Good morning, Jessica Warren, Human Resources. I have a request for 2 executive sessions under performance of a public employee.
Time estimate? I know that's always the
Uh,
question, right?
Let's say 20 total
20 for
both, yeah.
both, okay. Okay, we will adjourn to exception for performance of a public employee, 2 cases of it, 20 minutes total, okay. Hey, back for an executive session. No decisions were made. I'll turn it over to Jessica.
Hello again, Jessica Warren, Human Resources. I have a request to fill from Public Works. They'd like to fill an assistant county engineer position at salary grade 605.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Okay,
Thank you. And then the last item I have is a request to fill from the Event Center, requesting to fill an event coordinator position. The employee is no longer with the county. And this is a currently budgeted position.
Okay with that.
Okay with that. I do have sort of a administrative bureaucratic question. Kelly, are you listening? The
Yes.
question is, how, well, maybe it's Bailey or Kelly anyhow. The question is, do we need to have this in terms of a motion in order for it to go in the minutes that people can see that these things were approved? And it's just a matter of how you want to do the minutes, as far as I'm concerned.
You usually mention when we do HR decisions.
Yeah, we put in the minutes that Jessica asked if building commission. You guys approved it. Sometimes you guys do motions.
But you fill in, if it were a formal motion, there'd be an action. Do we do that even with these? Action approved?
I do put approved in action. even if it's not
Oh,
motion.
in which case,
Okay,
I'm fine.
I
then.
think we're good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just couldn't remember.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anything else? No.
I say, my comment about the striping and the repaving on Dyke Road, I was really debating whether to bring that up or not, but I was very impressed with the quick answer that that's in fact standard practice. I did not know that, and that's kind of nice.
Well, it sounds like you brought to her attention that they didn't fulfill their,
Well, that's the other thing too. I know I've gotten, I'm sure all of us have gotten complaints in the order not of, did you know, but like I got a phone call from him that begins with, you dumbasses, and it's like, we can't know everything.
right?
So the next time you have a hankering for bicycling, take your bike to the city of Longview. It is now crisscrossed with bike lanes, all freshly painted.
Crisscrossed in a sensible way or?
No.
See,
There-
that's,
There's the parking lane, the bike lane, and then the traffic lane, and then the turn lane. So they
And
have,
There's one section, is it on 20th or where is it where you
kind
go-
of crosses over.
you go down and the bike lane's on your right and all of a sudden it crosses over in front and then it's on the left?
Because there's supposed to be a right turn lane. That's
Yeah.
why they do that. And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
it is interesting.
you know what is?
And I'm waiting to see the second person on a bicycle.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the other thing. You put something there. You build it and they will come? Maybe. Around here, that's a questionable thing. But a bicycle is supposed to travel like the rules of the road, just like a car. And I follow that straightforwardly, which means if I have to make a left turn and there's a left lane, I'm actually occupying the left lane. And I get yelled at for doing that.
Get out of the way, right?
Yeah, and it's like, and I never take the right away from a car, and I try and make it as useful for a car to get by. Cyclists are from A to Z. You got the cyclist is coming down the street on the sidewalk in the other direction, against traffic. The police should give that person a citation. And whenever a bicyclist violates a rule, it should be a citation.
Well, all along Ocean Beach Highway, there is an extra wide sidewalk, which is designated the bike lane. And there are hedges right up next to the sidewalk. So there's a driveway and you can't see anybody coming until it's too late. I mean, it's
It's
a crazy.
It's suicide to
Yeah.
ride on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
If you're on a Sunday stroll with your tricycle and you're
Yeah,
6 years
It's
old,
different.
please stay on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
anyway, transition time in Longview.
Yeah, I was just talking to my son from San Diego, and the entire coastal area of San Diego is just peppered with e-bicycles.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
You go down to the beach and you'll see a rack where you had never seen before, and it's nothing but e-bicycles. There are e-bicycles there that are tandem with a kid seat on it. I saw once, last time I was there, which was 3 years ago now, a tandem, a lady got on it and she had 2 kids and she was carrying 2 kids plus all the beach paraphernalia on the electric bicycle. It was really eye-opening.
I may not be looking in the right places, but it seems to me that the only time I see EVs using one of the plug-in chargers is at the PUD lot, which is kind of like, okay, well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't seem very often anywhere else.
It's
Oh,
true.
well.
Yeah,
There are increasing numbers of electric cars, so.
I find a hybrid is kind of an attractive concept. I'm a little worried that in general, we're trying to press battery operated things too hard. The time will come. It's just a matter of safety and energy density, and I don't think those have been quite resolved, except for an e-bicycle
I think I'm more.
or a
concerned-
hybrid, actually.
I'm more concerned with the move toward driverless cars. That seems to me.
You
to be
have no
just
faith in
scary.
our software engineering.
Well, they're only as good as the programmers.
Yeah,
You know, I
True,
mean,
but.
That's true.
But you realize when you get on an airplane, most all the flying is done by computer.
That's true.
that's true.
And by the way,
But they don't have to worry about right turn lanes. Unless they're on the ground. then
and
they're-
they don't
then they're
worry
fine.
about bicyclists sneaking around a hedge.
Just a few seagulls every once in a while. Going through an.
Oh, yeah, that could be bad.
Or apparently doors being sucked out the windows. All right. We done?
All right, we're done. We will adjourn. Thank you.